Hi all, welcome to Full Stack Bootcamp. Today we are going to see about pure component. Okay, let's move on to the topic. What is pure component? We have that question here. So what is pure component means? Have two different components like class component is there and functional component is there. And in between that, what is pure component? We have that question more eagerly. We are waiting for who get answer for that. So let's see what the answer for this. Pure component in React or the components. It's a component, and in normally in class component or functional component we want to re-render to give some values to generate, like we are incrementing, it will going to increment like +1 means 2, it will increment 2, so it will, while re-rendering it will increment the value, likewise it will go off. So like that, which do not re-render when the value of state and props has been updated with the same value. Like in scenario we are going to reset that increment or decrement, like resetting it going to increment to 20, I want to reset to 0 again, so I am clicking on the reset button and again it's going to be 0, and again I am going to click a reset button, already it is in 0 state, and again I click means it will be 0 only. So this time it is re-rendering the same value, so it won't happen like that because it is an unnecessary re-render. So that time we use pure component to prevent that one. Okay, for that only we are using pure component. So let's see the topic in our code environment. Okay, I already created one React app using the command create-react-app. First we want to go to our entry point of our app, index.js. In that index.js we have several libraries, React libraries imported and React DOM is imported. So all things is there, and we are imported a component. App component is imported. So let's see about that app component. Okay, in this app component we have a bunch of code that is displaying here. So we want to remove this code. For that, what I'm doing, I'm going to remove this whole code. So I remove the whole code. I remove the whole code. For your convenience, I split it into two screen. Let's refresh the page. I refresh the page. It give me an error. No. Okay. As of now, we create a one app component here. Import React from React. I'm going to create a class based component. So class app extends React dot component render and return. To return a JSX and HTML file, we are giving return and fragment enclosed with a fragment and exporting this to index.js. So export default app. I am giving some meaningful content here. In H1 tag I am giving today topic is pure component. Okay, let again refresh this page. Check here what the issue. Okay, fine. Okay, it's showing like today topic is pure component. Our component is working fine. Let's move on to our topic. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set two buttons with increment and reset. So as for that, I'm going to declare one state count for a count like 0 1 to incrementing count. So I'm going to declare one state inside that object. I am giving a initializing a count 0. So count initial value will be a 0, and I am going to create two buttons here. One is increment and another one will be reset button. So you can see here increment and reset button is created, and now what I am going to do, I am going to destructure the const count equal to this dot state. So I am assigning the count value here in h1 tag. The count is in JSX. I am assigning that destructured count. So you can see here the count is 0. As of now it is 0. So we are going to handle a event handling. While clicking increment, what it want to do? It want to increment +1, and while reset it want to come to a initial stage as a 0. Okay, it is our requirement. So what I am going to do, I am going to give one on click event here. So in this on click event, I am assigning one method name this dot handle increment. I screenshot for increment, and another on click event also I am triggering, that is on click this dot handle reset. Okay, reset. Okay, so I am going to write this increment method handle increment equal to near arrow function. So in handle increment we want to increment +1, count +1. So what I am going to do, this dot set state at previous state So I am taking the previous state. The previous state value is 0. So previous state, I am going to change the count value. So count colon previous state. What we stored in this previous state, we have the value of count 0. So we are going to take the count. So previous state dot count +1. It want to increment by 1. So I am giving previous state dot count +1. Okay, this is enough. So let's check it is working or not. Let's click on increment. So it's fine. It's working fine. We are incrementing +1. Our logic is working fine. So next logic will be clicking of the reset button. It want to be come to 0. So let's check that one. So I'm copying that handle reset method. So here I am this dot set state previous state and the count will be 0. Again it want to be 0. So I assign like a count colon 0. So it's incrementing. While click on reset button, it is automatically come to 0. So our this logic also working fine. Okay, let's move on to our code. For that, what I am going to do, I am going to open inspect and Here go to console. In console, first what I am going to do, I am going to console log two console logs. I am going to console. For in first console log, it is rendering. So render stage. So console.log rendering. Okay. And after here render, what will happen? It will console.log after render. Okay, after render. So I'm clicking on increment. It is showing after render and rendering. Again I am clicking on the increment, so it's showing after render and rendering. Okay. Now I'm going to click on. So here I also copy this one and pasting in here also. I'm clicking on the reset. It is also showing after render and rendering. Again I am going to click. It's again showing, but not value is not incremented or decremented. Still it's showing like count is 0. Okay. Again I will explain this one once again. I clear all the things. Now I'm going to click on increment. Let's check the console log. Increment. It is showing after render and rendering. So it is render and it's rendering the incremented value plus 1. Again I click means it is rendering because it's changing at re-rendering and incrementing count plus 2. And again I clicking, it is coming to 3. Let's click on reset. It is coming to 0. So again I click on reset means what will happen? It will be 0. So but here it's rendering is happening. What pair requirement in pure component is when the value state and props have been updated with the same value means we do not re-render. It won't re-render using pure component. Okay, let's check how to use that pure component here to resolve this issue. So for that, what we want to do, we want to simply give a pure component here. We want to give a pure component. Instead of using simple React.component, we want to use pure component. So here I used pure React.pure component. Let's check the same output. Okay, let's check. First, I am going to click on increment. After, wait a second, I will clear the console. It will be clear what the output is showing. Okay, let's click on the increment. What it's showing after render and rendering. Again, I click on increment. It is changing the value. So again, it's showing after render and rendering. I am going to click on reset. It's showing after render and rendering. Again, click on a reset. It only showing after render. It did not re-rendering. You can see here, it only showing after render, but it did not re-render. I can show you. I'm click on increment one time. I click on increment one time, and I am going to reset the value. Again I am clicking. Again I am clicking. Only it's after render because here after render only there. So it is after rendering only happening. But re-rendering is not happening. Okay. It's again it not re-render the value after set to count is 0. So here it will happen because it is rendering a whole component. So here it will after render and re-rendering also it's happening, but count is come to 0 means it won't re-render again. I think now it's clear about what is the pure component. As of now, you are all clear about the pure, what is pure component is. And in functional component also we have the same structure how to prevent the state, because what are the things we have in class component we can also use in functional component. So in functional component, for that we can use react.memo. That thing we can see tomorrow classes, on upcoming classes. You can search about it. You can search about it. I will tell you what to how to search that. Type like React memo. React memo. You can find a solution. React memo functional component. You can find the various solution. Check the solution and make a code in that. Code. Thank you for attending the class.